Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing a silver, pretty low silver Genji. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate that. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, special events we have going on, all of that good stuff. Okay, how's our Genji gonna do on Hollywood here?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Sure.
Defend objective A.
I like the angle change. Shurikens weren't at right the right spot, but that's okay. This isn't really an angle change yet. Like, you're doing a little bit of, oh, let me pop above my Reinhardt type thing, but are we going to think about going here, or are you staying with the group because you're waiting for an opportunity to get to here? I can live with it if that's why you're staying with the group, but you're not likely to get much done just by getting a little bit of height, though it is better than nothing. A little bit of height, sorry, above your shield. A little bit of height on that high ground, great, but I'm just saying you're double jumping behind the right shield. Hey, Mentos. Okay, go take your high ground. Go take your high ground. Like, you might need to get healed, but press the I need healing button. It's okay. You can be the Genji that goes, I need healing, when you're missing health. It's okay. You can be the meme. Embody the meme. Okay, so we do want to get up here. Getting up here, as soon as we have any amount of health to play with, and putting the pressure from here, does relieve the pressure on our Reinhardt. Our Reinhardt is going to take less damage, because they're not going to be able to all pay attention to him. Some of them are going to turn and look at you, and you go, oh yeah, that doesn't matter, and you close the angle. And you're going to go back to maybe when she gets a chance healing you there. Preferably you don't take any damage here, or you see it, you take a tiny bit of damage and you back off, or you see it, maybe you pop deflect, whatever. But you being here, threatening damage from here and doing damage from here, will actually relieve some of the pressure on your Reinhardt and make it easier for your Reinhardt to push in and preferably not get eliminated. And if it doesn't, it's because they're paying zero attention to you, and if they're paying zero attention to you, all these free headshots. All the free headshots for eliminating people, or for getting them very low, at which point you dash in to eliminate them. Oh, let me know if that's better, Crunch. I may have had my mic a little far away there.
I'm on fire.
Or I may just not have enough coffee running through my veins yet. One of the two. Okay, you don't need to just stand here, though, and, like, camp it. You can be like, hey, I'm going to throw the angle in from here. You can be like, hey, I'm going to peek here to see if there's something I need to worry about. I'm going to climb up here and do my little jump to try to get over the lip to do a little scouting and maybe throw a single volley of shurikens. I'm not going to go over, but just to see if they're going to make it back in time to put a little pressure on them as they return, because it might combine your shurikens from here with someone's spam from here to get an elimination. Perfectly valid. And even if it doesn't, well, Blade is an ult worth just building. Oh, I guess I have some things running. Losing friends there isn't that wild. No, you don't need to push back in there. You had sort of the right idea. Let's change our rewind distance. You have sort of the right idea if your team is pushing main, and while your team is pushing main, you've created a little bit of an angle. You're still sort of main, but this is a little bit of an angle. I'm good with it. But now as they're pushing in, you're actually perfectly happy over here. You're perfectly happy over here going, their backline now can't shoot you while you shoot at their Mei. Perfectly happy with you. And then their backline can't shoot at you while you shoot at their Reinhardt. Perfectly happy with you. We are perfectly happy to put hard cover between us and the opponents and punish anyone from the side that tries to walk into our team like this. We're totally good with that. Wouldn't taking the high ground be better for this push, or is it not useful enough since they haven't pushed far enough from main yet? So the high ground would have been amazing for this push. I just didn't like what he was going to have to do on the route that he took. So he went this way, and I didn't like what he was going to have to do to go here and then get up here. Because he can't really stay on this high ground. It's not safe enough. He'd have had to get up here. And that's just a fair amount of time walking across his opponents, just disrespecting them, trusting that they can't hit him. And he could sort of pop deflect. He could pop deflect to cover most of it, but he'd still have to wall climb this, or he'd have to dash this. And that's a lot of wall climb that deflect isn't protecting him during, that the opponents can see him. Yes, it's low silver, so he'd probably have gotten away with it, but he might have taken enough damage that he then wasn't really willing to contribute, and Ana wasn't really going to heal him either, because again, low silver. And if he uses his dash, well, then it becomes a question of, yeah, you can probably do that, but are you going to run into someone up there? Is someone going to follow you up there? Is there going to be a Hanzo up there? No, there's not, and no one on the enemy team can bother him. So yes, in this particular case, he could have gone, if I know where the Hanzo is, I can dash and go take this high ground, and that would have been stronger than what he did. Usually the opponents don't have 0 people that can follow you if you use your dash to go to the high ground, but yes, in this case, that would have been a stronger thing to do. If he'd gone up this way, earlier, when I was talking about poking over here or going this way, then yeah, it absolutely would have been yep, let's hop up, let's go to the high ground thing, and let's play from here. But I wasn't willing to tell him to cross in front, though in hindsight I should have, because the team really doesn't have any challenges to punish him for using his dash to take it. As mesmerizing as the review is, don't forget to smash that like button. Thank you for pulling us out of it, Val. That's a great reminder. I had to surface from the mesmerizement, totally a word, of the review to hit that like button. Okay. Jump. Oh, well. Press like, but you just got here. Hey, Blah! Welcome to the video. Stream, whatever. Yeah. So we want to be playing on angles as much as we can, preferably high ground angles, like Crunch was talking about there, if we can, and we don't get hit by shatter on those. No. So this happens. And our team is gone. Our team is eliminated. We lost our Reinhardt, we lost our Diva, our Moira's in full retreat. We are not in any way pushing out here to fight 6 guys while our teammates are in spot. 1 set of eyeballs for 6 set of eyeballs, even if you were better at poke than them, they would be more likely to get an elimination on you than vice versa, just based on the number of sets of eyeballs that are looking at you versus the number that you have, just yours, looking at them. Or even if you're like, no, Ana's here, Ana's helping, Moira's here. Okay, 3 sets of eyeballs for 6 sets of eyeballs. We don't want to engage right now. We don't. We instead want to invest this time in, hey, where can I go to be useful later? Maybe I can go over here. Probably not, though. Probably not. Probably not enough distraction. Probably can't get here without running across the 6 sets of eyeballs. Probably just need to wait. Just need to wait until we have 5-6 players back, team starts to push, and then as the team pushes, that gives us cover to run up here and pressure them from the side to unlock it, or take the flank and do the high ground like we wanted to earlier. We're not going to push into them and be like, oh, well, let me try to get my elimination on them 6v3 or 3v6. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do it down main. We could, if we had an angle, be like, hey, maybe I'm going to reveal myself very gently while you're paying attention to a couple teammates over there, just to try to get some ult charge, really, because your ult, getting it really is important on Genji, but we'd never do that down main where they're already looking. We're just too likely to get insta-deleted by spam. Quick, the Widow ulted push 2v6? Yeah, that makes it even worse. Well, our Widow, so not worse, but still. That the ult was used is even worse. The payload is not high ground if there is higher ground nearby. That's fair. It's a fair way to describe it. Yeah, so we're done again. Just back out. Just back out. They're going to push and look for staggers, and you already have Blade. There's nothing for you to get. This isn't helpful. This isn't helpful. This is blade farm when you already have blade. I like that you're taking the angle to apply the pressure here, but this is only useful if you think you can combine it into an elimination. Doesn't have to be all you. It can combine with spam from the rest of your team, poke from the rest of your team. But if you don't think that opportunity is going to open, and I don't in like a 3v6, I think it is much more likely that the opponent's spam will continue into combine into an elimination. Then you're better off not. Like this would be a fine place to farm blade from, but you already have it, so you're kind of good. Don't get one shot by Hanzo. Okay. Great. Great. Your Reinhardt's getting lost, doing weird things. Your Diva's still a baby over here. We probably don't want this. You could go right out here and force Blade, because their attention is all this way on your Reinhardt. So you could go, I'm going to Blade over here, get Hanzo, get Mercy. Like, that's a thing that you could do. It's not the best timing in the world, but you could do it. You've got the Ana, you're going to wait for Nano. Yeah, that's fine. Let me rephrase that. You have the Ana, you should wait for Nano rather than take that moderate option Blade. Why are you using... You know you have two different ways to throw shurikens, right? So, like, if we look at your shurikens, you can throw your shurikens in a manner where they go... Yes, I'm stalling for my Epic Pen to load. Not very well. Okay. You can throw your shurikens in a way where they throw spread like this, or you can throw your shurikens in a way where they 1, 2, 3 like this. You know, not, I mean, they would go that way if you dragged that way, but you fire them off 1, 2, 3, or you can go spread fire. At this distance, we'd generally be thinking about, hey, 1, 2, 3, not spread. We're never going to hit this Zarya with multiple of our spread at this distance. Like, it's going to go like it is. I mean, not never. Her bubble's pretty big. But, like, it's going to spread, and it's going to be like that. Now, it's not actually like that, but it's like that if she's not bubbling. And we don't want to hit her bubble with multiples. So, singles. Or not singles, but 1, 2, 3, not spread at this distance. Yeah, definitely don't know why we're spread. Don't know why we're doing that. Okay. Hey, Yasmin. It's pretty ineffective. So you spamming more shurikens isn't going to help. You have to be ready to pull your blade at the right moment. Your job was to go, hey, let me get over here and let me be ready to blade. And as soon as we have 6 people that look relevant, before any of my teammates are able to mess up and get eliminated, but as they're getting in close, as it looks like the fight is about to start or is starting for real as a 6v6, then I'm going to pull up my blade, my Ana's going to have line of sight of me, and I'm going to go for these backline things. And if you look around, I just rewound a bit, and look, this was your moment. This right here was your moment to hit your ult. Yes, we have some coalescence shenanigans going. Don't care. Whose coalescence even is that? Okay. So, like, we look at this. You could have worked your way up over here as your teammates got alive. You're over here, and then this is your moment. Your Reinhardt is hard engaging with charge. Foolish or not, that's what he's doing. Your team is alive and is relevant to the fight. Everyone can contribute. Your Diva's not quite here, but your Rein has pulled the trigger. So if you pull your blade right here, this is the best chance that you have to win this team fight, to use this blade that you've been saving. Your Ana will be able to see you. You'll be on a different angle than your Reinhardt. Your Reinhardt is engaging. This right here would be great. You'll have easy access to their backline. This is how you go high probability of winning this fight. Instead, you're still for some reason in spam mode. You weren't spamming from an effective place in the first place. She couldn't have coalescence like that. If she tried to coalescence like that into your Rein, into her Rein when you nanobladed, you'd eliminate her for free. Because she can't fade when she coalesces. I say free, but you'd be using a nanoblade. Now this is way worse. Your Rhine isn't in their face, and look how far back your team is going to be. Like, your team is going to be wanting to back up from this fight as you're going in. So now you have to do it all by yourself. You have to get eliminations, excuse me, basically all by yourself, because your team is going to be running forward. If they're good, your team is going to be running forward during your blade to try to get in the fight to help, but they're pretty far back. You don't have a Rhine up here helping. You're just going to have the backline support of your Ana. The Moira's way far back here. The Diva's a little closer, and she'll probably work her way forward. She might help a little, but you have less people on the board during this. Oh, that is not very deep. Nanoblade is a good ult. 15 to 1600 people. Can't aim at Genji during Nanoblade. Right. Okay. That's good. I'm glad that you got your 6K. They're gonna get better at shutting those down. They are. So you want your team to be a bit of a distraction for you. But hey, it worked. Good for you. Yeah, we're all a bit surprised, I think. Like, I'd have expected to see DPS eliminate something in chat 2 minutes ago. We might have. I mean, this is a replay code, so we can't see chat.
Thank you.
If you go to his blade compilation. Yeah, Mei has some solutions. Mei going down with Ice Block up to a Nano Blade is embarrassing. The other stuff are partial solutions. Please, your Reinhardt is doing this. You don't actually, like, shoot from your Reinhardt's pocket. Every once in a while you'll do that, but you use the fact that your Reinhardt is sort of distracting to go over here, and then you pressure from here. That's what you do. And then they're like, oh, we don't like that. And they turn and they walk at you. And that makes it really easy for your Rhine to walk at them. And you're not worried about getting out. If you have to, you can dash. If you have to, there's a health pack here. If you decide to be super aggressive, you can not throw shurikens at them. See, I say aggressive and then don't throw shurikens at them. And instead walk all the way over here and up here and then try to jump the Hanzo. And then once you take out the Hanzo, punish them from behind to make them go, oh, we literally can't hold here anymore. Like, you have all sorts of good options, none of which are, I'm going to jump around behind my Rhine throwing shurikens. Earlier this Genji required healing, and he didn't press the I require healing button. I was disappointed. Yes, when you don't solve people on the high ground, poke DPS on the high ground, they just win fights if the fights go at all long.
Let us hope for a different outcome.
No, don't hope for a different outcome. Go solve the problem. Please go right. Please go right. No, don't go forward. Go right. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. You can't dash her. You have to dash out. You have to dash out. No! No! This is fine, but your dash is like up over to here where she's ineffective against you. Yes, she can still reach you with Freezy Freeze, but you're going to be like, oh yes, I can get you. I have the option of climbing. You don't know if I'm going to fake and stop climbing and drop to mess up your shot and then go back to this more, because that'll be enough time to make freeze particles fall off. Like, you didn't want to dash through her to try to get away. She's also playing at a distance where dashing through her puts you even closer to her. You wanted to dash up over here where you can threaten high ground. That should be a very comfortable, familiar dash with you. The I dash out to nearby high ground that other heroes have trouble accessing. Or if you're in her face, I dash out through her to high ground. turn and throw some shurikens, climb, drop because it was a fake climb, I'm throwing off your icicle, and then climb again and maybe go up type thing because her icicle has a delay to it. But hey. Or just trust she can't aim. Okay. Why are you running? Like, okay. No, 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 no! Why would you do this to me? Why would you go back here and attack basically from the direction of your team with only a tiny off angle instead of being like, I'm going to play from over here and work with this giant off angle and work with this angle that makes their heads larger, that, you know, increases their head to body surface area ratio from my perspective. Like, yes, please do this. Don't go back here.
You're powered up. Get in there.
They just need to capture it and looking at the payload on blue. Sorry, I want to see this blade again. Here you are.
You're powered up. Seconds remaining.
We've eliminated 2 of them, but we're scared of their blizzard. I can live with it. You're scared of their blizzard turning to fight. She was not a great first dash target because she potentially had fade and you didn't have an elimination. Yeah, so when it comes to these blades,
Unstoppable.
you gotta know who you're going after. And if I dash here, I'm potentially looking to just go, hey, the blizzard's over. I can just slash the Zarya. Like, I'm right on top of the Zarya. I can slash the Zarya. A Nano Blade, like 2 slashes into the Zarya, and then angle yourself slightly to dash through. If I fell on the Moira, that would be good. I'd go for that, but I'm not going to fall on the Moira because my dash took me kind of shallow because I wasn't preset for the fight well. I wasn't over here where I could just drop on the Moira while pulling out my blade to force her fade and then dash to follow her. That's how you deal with Moiras. But your blade pre-positioning has not been good. You still got the 6K on the other one, but your pre-positioning has not been good. Deflect? Please deflect? Don't just shoot the Hanzo. Don't just trust that Hanzo can't hit you. Use deflect. Dash wasn't the right answer there because that actually was the edge of your dash range. You wanted your dash to take you through him when you did use it so that he at least had to turn around, which is a big aim adjustment for him. That's something that you want him to do. So we're good with that, the idea of dashing, but we knew we were too far to dash. We knew if we dashed, all we'd get is the dash that just barely hurts him from the front. We wanted to use our deflect instantly because we were in a terrible spot. Threaten that, and then we're able to get closer with our deflect, maybe get closer like this with our deflect, and then dash through him up to here, like this. At least, though, dash through him and actually end up on the other side of him. And use the deflect to get into a range where that's true. Low elo Genji's being 1,000 miles deep in the enemy backline alone. I require healing. I wish this guy spent a little more time in the enemy backline. I really wish he spent a little more time on the side and above the opponents, given that we're on Hollywood second, but... You really don't want to see this played again? It's true, Blah. I think we saw it 3 times, and I would have been just as happy seeing it 0. But that's okay. Chunk time. That was a different outcome. True, true. Considering Hanzo doesn't need aim to hit his shots. Okay. Junkrat of snipers. Sort of.
Initiating match.
Hey, Quackers. Hey, Quackers.
Ready.
Oh. Onto the Reaper Man.
Attackers incoming. In
Where
30
are we going to lurk?
I am ready to roll.
You got a problem, Junker.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Okay. You were reloading during the first half of the bubble. Usually you would shoot bubble of a Zarya that got this aggressive. A, you want her to leave faster, but B, this is disrespectful. If this push-up wasn't while you were reloading, you'd have just been like, fine, I'll two-shot your bubble and then I'll two-shot you. Like, this is really, really disrespectful. Unless she saw that you were reloading. Now she's too far away. Don't walk forward. Don't walk forward. She's too far out. You do not have the sustain for this. You want to play sort of in your Reinhardt's pocket. What you were doing earlier, where your Reinhardt's here, and you're sort of what you were trying to do on Genji. You'd sometimes jump above it, which is better than being in the pocket as Genji. But really, what I want you to do is take this, take this. But like this playstyle of I'll sort of play around and behind my Rein shield and only get aggressive to finish people off. That's valid as a Reaper playstyle. You can also use corners and cover for it and be like, hey, as opponents try to push my Reinhardt, I enforce the corners. But like it is valid to play a shield break Reaper behind your Reinhardt if the Reinhardts are getting close to each other. You can't go like this though unless you see something you can finish, which was never here. Because now it's too likely you're going to force your own Wraith. Don't tuck here. Tuck here. This is just too big of an open space to walk across. Tuck here. Your team will still be able to heal you from here. They're just going to have to send a mercy over, I guess. And then when the opponent pushes in, because they want to push your team, you just walk into the side of them. You're not going to do Reaper sniping from here. This is worthless. You just risked your own life by walking across there. No, we're not going to be like the tip of the spear unless there's something we're finishing off. We're going to tuck, and so we had to swap playstyles. At the beginning, shield break was appropriate because that's what our Reinhardt was enabling. But we had to switch styles to a baited trap, or whatever you want to call to setting up our concave, to where they're going to push in, and that's going to let us push them from the side where their backline can't shoot us, but we can just pulverize them. Or set the concave and they push in, and when they push in, you decide I'm going to shoot them in the side, or I'm going to wait till their backline passes and then I'm going to walk into the back of their backline. But we set up for the concave here. We don't just go pew 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 in front of our team if there's not something for us to finish off. Wouldn't this be the time to flank in that side room? Here? It would have been too obvious. It would have been too obvious if when he got separated from his team on this side, if he'd gone through here. He couldn't really lurk in this room to get them because they can have Hanzo peek through here and get them. He can't really flank up through this side room to get people because if he does, he then has to sort of wraith out and it's just too far, or wraith out and it's not really safe. He's still going to get punished before his wraith is over. So you can potentially use this room, but no, I have not seen an amazing opportunity for him to do so. He could reposition into it. Yes. Yeah, no, he could TP into it. If he wanted to stand here and TP into it, and they wouldn't see him TP, unless, again, the Hanzo went, wait, I hear something, let me just time the headshot for that reposition, Shadow Step, and, okay, I'll shoot you when your iframes end, but you can't move. Now, they're not going to do that in Bronze, but yes, that's an option. I don't love the Shadow Step into here, to be honest, though. You could have also Shadow Stepped up here, that would actually be a little bit better, but I really would have preferred that he just did his shield break thing into a lurk for the corner thing. Like, that would have been stronger, as opposed to pew-pew. But yes, short flanks are an option.
Let's try that again.
But I'm glad that you guys brought that up, because now we've touched on a third Reaper playstyle. We have the short flanks, we have the shield break, we have the lurking to control corners, and you can comfortably shift between them.
Repositioning.
You mean this TP play? Yeah. And I actually think this TP play is quite a bit better right now. Because, again, he did it here,
Repositioning.
and he's not immediately visible to a Hanzo standing here, like he would have been to the Hanzo that was in fact standing here if he'd repositioned into here. So this one is better. The health pack's bait, don't do it. Okay, now you can go for the health pack, but only if you saw where the Hanzo arrow went. Sure, you can just pressure from here. Leave. We're not going for the health pack? Huh. I think you forgot where that health pack was. Okay. You're gonna have to play this very passive without Wraith form. Now you're gonna play it super aggressive because it's probably a lost fight unless something trades back. Again, push up the side. Your Reinhardt or your Hog is here, so you want to push up this side and see what you can get from here. You're less interested in pushing up here. Hopefully you could have walked up here and gotten the Mercy, but... Okay. Any more today? I'll do more reviews today, yes, now we're on McCree. I'll do more reviews today, yes. I'm not going to do another review right after this one, though, as I do have plans. But I have scheduled sessions, at least one, maybe plural, that'll turn into uploads, and I'll do at least one more stream today, too. Okay, so the McCree's not real. Okay, so... things that we need to talk about. You primarily played Genji, and what I'd really like you to do on your Genji is I'd like you to think about your angles and your high ground. Specifically, I'd like you to think about using high ground angles. Like, what would have made your Genji a lot better would have been, hey, I'm over here and this is where I'm doing my work from. I'm not doing my work from here. I'm doing my work from here when these guys were pushing out and trying to farm you. What would have made you better when you were on offense here would have been, hey, I'm not doing my work from here, jumping from behind my Rhine shield. I'm doing my work from over here, or I'm going up here and challenging the Hanzo to try to get control of this, and if I win, it's just over. The point's just unlocked. They can't hold that choke anymore if you force out the Hanzo and get control of this. So that would have been the preference. For your defense direction, you played Reaper, so I guess we won't talk about that, but it would be similar things. You can play your Genji from up here. You can threaten through here with your Genji. You can, if you want, threaten over here. But, like, we want to use Genji's wall climb and his double jump to take these angles, to take this high ground that we can use to make it so that the opponents go, I'm shooting a Reinhardt. Oh, I've got to move my camera up over there to deal with Genji. Oh, I can't see the Reinhardt. Or the Reinhardt's sort of on my screen, but, oh, I get hit by someone else because I'm paying attention to the Genji. I'm strafing to dodge the Genji, and to these guys, that just looks like me going mostly like this, which is not a super effective dodge pattern against them. Okay, cool. Oh, the cover, I tuck here to get cover against the Genji who's above me or make him walk out. Well, that doesn't help that much against these guys. Like, that's what we want. The angles help a lot, and Genji has a really easy time taking these high ground angles, and it gives him protection. Oh, you're shooting at me too hard? Let me back up and crouch, and now my team can still heal me. Cool. Works for me. Oh, I want to engage with a blade on you? This is the second thing I want you to work on. I want you to get your blade timings right. It's going to be when my opponents have walked in here. And if you've already mastered the first thing or improved on the first thing, you'll be, hey, I'm already in a good position, sort of to the side and above the opponents. And now I pull out my blade up here, I get this, and I can just drop on someone. And that's going to force them to use fade, for example, and then I dash after them. Or, hey, I'm up over here applying damage. I get my blade faster, and then when I want to use my blade, if the opponents are here and my team are here, great. I can just drop while pulling out my blade on that Moira and she fades, and I go like that. Or if I need to, I can go, hey, nano, 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 or I can dash and get nanoed and have gone deeper still because I wanted to get to the back line. So, like, the two things I really want you to work on your Genji are thinking about, hey, I can play more from these off angles. I can use these off angles that are Genji off angles. And B, the timing slash targeting of your blade, where if you're already using these positions, it'll help a little bit, but we want to use our blades when our team is pushing in. I know you got the 6K here. I do. Like, I recognize that, and that was cool. But to make those more reliable, to make those 6Ks not sometimes turn into 0Ks or 1Ks, what you want to do is you want to use them when your team is engaged. And you can stage in moderately aggressive spots like this for long periods of time if you use Genji's kit, if you use the fact that he has double jump, wall climb, etc. to get to these spots that are different angles than your team. So those are what I want you to work on to level up your Genji. I hope that makes sense. But off angles, different directions than your team are really, really powerful. And then recognizing when your team is there and actually pushing or actually being pushed but hasn't yet lost to pull out the blades, really, really powerful. That's going to make you go far as Genji. If people have questions, you can throw them up in chat now. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate that. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, special events we have going on, all of that good stuff. Okay, let's catch up on chat here. Oh, Reaper. We didn't really talk about Reaper. I mean, we did, though. Like, your defense was short, obviously, but I can deal with the shield break. I can deal with the shield break while playing in your Reinhardt's pocket, and by that, I mean behind your Reinhardt's either body or shield, and only getting aggressive to finish people off when you have Wraith form available to get out. And tuck back into these traps, these corners, where it's like it's bait. It's like, oh, you pushed my Reinhardt back, but I'm standing right here and I'm going to two-shot you if you try to actually push him type thing. Like, you can make your Reinhardt a lot stronger and get a lot of, oh, they just blow up if they don't understand how it works, or they have to turn and push you immediately, and you go, okay, fine. You dealt with the extra step to deal with me. Like, that's powerful, and I'd like you, especially if you're playing Reaper on defense like this, to understand how to transition from the shield break into this. We can also talk about the flank thing, and chat brought me there a little bit, and then you did one of those, and that's okay. But I'd actually like you to really become familiar with this. Okay, I do this shield break by my Reinhardt into it. If my Reinhardt starts getting pushed back, play here, and then either delete their front line as they walk through from the side, or let their front line pass and then walk into their back line, or walk in behind their back line. Either way, but this sort of lurking Reaper is really powerful for that sort of thing. And you need to be able to swap to it, especially when you start running down on resources like Rein Shield. Okay. Okay. I have another Hollywood Mercy game ready to be reviewed where I tucked away more, but I'm sure you'll find plenty to tear apart, Temporal. No problem, Wes. I'm happy to review that. I am happy to review that today, in fact. But I do have something scheduled for that I'm heading out to after this review. I shouldn't be long, though. I can ping you, or you can ping me with, I can ping you, or we can just figure out a time. Send it to me on Discord. You know the drill. So far away from cover. Yep. Starting cover, but kind of drift away from it. Like, oh, and Platt, whether people can aim or not is a coin flip. Right, but if you want to climb any higher, it stops being a coin flip, whether they can aim or not. You're the Rhein's ace in his back pocket? Yeah, that's what Reaper is. Gets in a fight and pulls out his Reaper card with a plus 10 damage boost due to the opposing Reinhardt card being next to the Reaper card. Okay. Mm-hmm. Didn't see the notification. We'll rewatch the start of this one. I'm surprised you didn't see it. Do you have the YouTube notifications or the Discord pings? Because the Discord pings are generally pretty darn good, whereas notifications on YouTube, you can certainly register for them. I've got no issue. But notifications on YouTube, just like notifications on Twitch, tend to be a little slow to go out. The video tends to have been going for a bit before they go out, is my understanding. Um, What role here was your specialty, by the way? I mean, I from a coaching standpoint, no, I'll do it all. I will do it all, and it's not like I'm super comfortable or super uncomfortable on anything. From what I played when I played, I mostly played main tank. Um, in an organized setting, anyway. Uh, you won't be live. Very long 20-minute game on Hollywood, so not going to do a baby VOD. Okay, got it. Then we can schedule that. Why ask? No problem. Oh, hey, Gavin. Gavin was our Roadhog Zarya from yesterday. I just wanted to thank you again for the VOD review. I already gotten back up to 39. Nice, nice. Already got it back up to 39.20 thanks to your advice. I've been recommending you to lots of people I know. Thrilled to hear it, man. Thrilled to hear it. I'm glad you were able to so easily see that reload stuff when I pointed it out, and I hope we were able to help your hog out there as well. So very nice, man. You have YouTube notifications on, but it's potluck if they let me know. I'm not sure that's the right word, potluck. But yeah, everyone will tell you that. Anyone who has a YouTube channel will tell you if they've done any level of research that YouTube notifications are very hit or miss. Forcing them to pay attention in a bad direction, that's what angles do. Can you play some music? Please, no music, no music. So it sounds like the answer to that is no. We're not going to be doing music, Kobe. Sorry. Um, though, to be fair, I grooved out a little when we had the Lucio skin on that did the jazz music yesterday. Uh, okay, no grooving, only learning. Yeah, everyone's against music except you on this one, Obi. Sorry. Um, can I do 6 to 7 today? I don't think so. I think I have something set up with a 6 to 7 Pacific. No, I am maybe. It's possible it'll be over by then. I'm working with another YouTuber on something, so probably not 6 to 7 today. It's possible it'll wrap up in time and I can ping you, but I would have to either do later than that, like at 7, or I would have to do earlier than that, which would be I could do 3 to 4, or I could do 7 to 8 Pacific. I could probably do 1 to 2 as well. Other than that, it would have to be tomorrow, it looks like. Um, okay. What's an appropriate amount of limbs using Nanoblade? Like any fight, considering if any opposing ultimates occur? Did you win the fight? I mean, 1 to 2 limbs will win you most fights, but it does become a question of how many ults did they use to answer? Did you use it when your team could contribute? I don't care if your Nanoblade gets 0 limbs because they counter your Nanoblade with Whole Hog, Bash, Flashbang, Hack, whatever, if your team then wipes out their front line and you survive. If your team is able to wipe out their front line during Nanoblade because, hey, their team was totally focused on you, that was still an effective Nanoblade, even if you got 0 limbs. But limbs need to happen during or as a result of your Nanoblade, and a team fight winning number of limbs need to happen, which is usually about 2. And it doesn't have to be exactly during the Nanoblade, it can be just after, or you could get disproportionate stuff, like if you Nanoblade and they stack trans and beat and blizzard and self-destruct and things like that. Okay, fine. We didn't get anything from Nanoblade, but we got lots of things from Nanoblade. We didn't get any eliminations. There are situations where 0 is fine. Right. If the Genji's on the point and he presses Q and gets an hand out and none approaches because of the threat, that's a win. Well, only if it wins the game. Like, I actually do want to get the eliminations and stagger them. So, like, if it's overtime and that happens, sure, blah. But I don't know if that's what you mean or if you're just trolling, because you are sometimes serious and you sometimes troll, and it can be fun to figure out what you're doing. Discord pings always work for you immediately. Good to know. 3 to 4 works for you. Okay, I'll book you for that. Okay, again, if you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate that. But I think that's going to do it for now, and I will see you guys later.